spin to it that Twitter, as you know, is a very powerful tool, and I meet so many people through it, and so most of the time, some of the times they are I invite folks onto the show, but it was just interesting because and this is me. This is Ted Hicks, the dad, the 40-plus-year-old dad who has the kids and married for 16 years and all of that. But I go on Facebook, Simone, and I need you to help me out. I go on Facebook, and I see the moms on there. And when it's usually Mother's Day, and they start acting up a little bit, Simone, because between that Mother's Day and the Father's Day peak, it's just, people start showing out. And I joke and say to my daughter, who's 13, who also plays basketball, so I definitely got to bend your ear about a few things, maybe even offline. I say to her, I said, Nyla, why is it every Mother's Day we can't get into the mall, and Father's Day, which is 30 days later, you can park wherever you want to park?
You know what? That's so funny that you said that because I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
No. I want to open the floor to you.
It's funny that you said that because, my dad took my mom and me out for Mother's Day, for breakfast on Mother's Day. We went to Cracker Barrel. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Yes,
It's a really popular restaurant out here in Texas. And, it was a long wait. And we were talking about our summer basketball when I was younger, and I used to play summer basketball, and how we didn't have tournaments on Mother's Day, but we always had tournaments on Father's Day. And he was just like, it's similar to the restaurant situation. Like, you go to a restaurant on Mother's Day, and it's an hour to 30-minute wait, and you can just walk right in on Father's Day. And, I think that just has to do with, first of all, there is an epidemic of, absentee fathers, and not just in the black community, because a lot of people, we're stereotyped as, having absentee fathers, but it stretches all the way across. It doesn't limit itself to African Americans. And, mothers just typically, I don't want to speak in too generally, but mothers just typically have a stronger role in upbringing of children, traditionally. So I think that's why, it tends to just be a bigger holiday. It's more not respected, but it's just more like, it's put on a higher pedestal than Father's Day, I guess, which is unfortunate.
I mean, Simone, I'm going to tell you this much. So I go to a Baptist church, right? And Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter, those are the 3 days where you can't find a seat.
You can't find a parking spot, I'm sure. You got to park in the overflow parking lot, huh?
Yes, you do, and it's something. But so I'm going to switch it around on you a little bit and say, okay, it's Father's Day. You open up Facebook, and you find nothing but, and I'm sorry, you find nothing but women that are getting hot, that are like, oh, I want to thank everyone that wishes me a happy Mother's Day and a Father's Day, and that just drives me insane, Simone. It just really does. And I'm like, and I understand about the absentee fathers, but then there's some fathers that are doing the right thing. A few bad apples don't spoil the whole, for everyone. Come on.
For sure. I think that situation is very subjective. Me, for instance, I have a 3-year-old son. I have custody of him. His father isn't very active in his life. And, he is 8 hours away. So that's one big reason why. I'm not saying that that's an excuse, but it's not like he's up the street so he can see him every weekend. He's far away. So, I've had friends wish me Happy Father's Day, and it's not something that I really want to partake in. You know what I mean? I agree with you. Father's Day isn't necessarily, to me, a day to talk down on fathers that are not there. It's to uplift and praise fathers that are there. So personally, I do not want to be wished a Happy Father's Day. Like I said, I've had friends who know, friends who know my situation. They know that I'm a sole, the sole provider and caretaker of my child. And they'll say, Happy Father's Day. You play both roles, and I'll be like, thank you, but You don't have to say that to me. Like, this isn't a day for me. This is a day to uplift fathers that are there. But again, like I said, it's so subjective. That it's hurt. It hurts. You know what I mean? It does hurt to for children. For kids that say, oh, you know what, my mom was my dad and my mom. Like that comes from hurt. That stems from hurt from their father not being present in their life. I don't care what they say. They'll try to mask it like they don't care, but it is hurtful not having both parents in your life. It definitely hurts a child. I'm blessed that I don't have to do that. I get to wish my mom Happy Mother's Day, and I get to wish my father Happy Father's Day.
Right.
Both,
right.
Married 29 years, both extremely active in my childhood and even adult life. So I'm blessed in that way. But I can never understand the hurt. So I can never understand the hurt of somebody who does that. So I try not to judge, because I know there's a lot of judging on these social networks, because it's easy to say your opinion. All you have to do is type a couple words and press send, and boom, your opinion's out there. And so I feel like it's really easy for people to judge, but you just don't understand. Different things affect people differently. So one person might not care. One person, might be seriously affected by that. So I really try not to judge, and I wish everybody would do that, because it's not necessarily they want attention, but they are hurting. It is hard to raise a child by yourself. It's difficult. It's not easy. But at the same time, I think I handle it better than a lot of other people. I see the women that you're talking about who say, "Oh, my son's dad or my daughter's dad isn't even around." And like I said, I like to use that day as a day to uplift my father, who has been a wonderful father to me and my sisters, who's been a wonderful grandfather to my son, and all the other fathers out there. Because like you said, there are a lot of fathers out there. We tend to look at the negative. That's just human nature, and so we tend to want to highlight the negative and point that stuff out. But there are plenty of awesome, awesome fathers. That's my personal opinion on the matter.
Oh no, that's definitely. So I'm gonna hit you with a couple of quick questions.
Okay.
So tell me about what would you consider the ultimate Mother's Day gift?
Man, I'm really into pampering. So I think, moms do so much. They cook, they clean, they're waking the child up to get ready for school, which is a whole other task in itself. They're bathing the kid, putting him to bed. We do a lot. And I think just a day, my perfect Mother's Day would just be a day where I don't have to do any of it. Someone else wakes the kid up, gets him dressed, makes him breakfast, makes him lunch, takes him to the park, entertains him. I just want to be in a spa. I want to be getting massages and facials, getting my nails and toes done, doing my hair. I just want to be treated like a princess that whole day, or treated like a queen. Like, just pamper me and make me feel like I just want to relax. I want a nice glass of wine. I just don't want to be bothered, basically.
Gotcha.
Give me a day off. So, yeah.
So tell our listeners quickly about playing Division I basketball in college.
Playing Division I, that was definitely, it was always one of my dreams. My dad was a basketball player. He played Division I, and so I always wanted to be able to say I played Division I too. Say that to him. So it was a very awesome experience. It's very hard though. I think a lot of people don't understand. There's a difference in Division I and Division II. It just is. Not saying there's anything wrong with Division II, but Division I more is expected out of you, especially playing basketball. So, most teams get some type of break. Volleyball will get spring break, and then, the spring sports will get like Thanksgiving break and all the Christmas break off. So basketball, it goes between 2 semesters. So basically, you don't get Thanksgiving break, you don't get Christmas break, you don't get spring break. It's a full-time job, full-time commitment. You have to take care of your body. You have to study so you can stay eligible. You have to get good grades. It's absolutely one of the hardest and toughest things. And it takes a lot of mental toughness as well, because you do start to miss your family. When you only get 2 days off for Christmas and you have to go back to school and there's literally nobody there except for your teammates, everybody else is out of town, at home, enjoying their break. It's just you guys. You're just looking at each other. You get sick of looking at each other. It takes a lot of mental toughness, and you have to remember why you're there. and what you're there for. But it was definitely one of the most rewarding things outside of my son. It's definitely the most exciting, most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. But you have to be committed to it, completely committed to it.
And as I've said at the onset of this call, that we're going to have to talk offline because my daughter is heading to the 8th grade. She's excited about, prepping for high school basketball and everything else. And not that I want to take that dream away from her, but I just wanted someone who's gone through this to just, set the expectations or help set the expectations. And
no, definitely. I really enjoy talking to kids about that because, everybody wants to play at the highest level, but the reality is that not everybody can. But if you really, 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 you really dedicate your life to working for it, it's always possible. So I love talking to kids about that type of stuff because it really is the most exciting 4 years of my life, hands down. My best friends were my teammates, still best friends to this day. Like it was awesome. I loved it.
I gotta speak with you about Black Sports Online. They're partnering with Fox, and there's a lot of exposure. We're running out of time. I'm going to table that for now and say to you, I know you're heavily involved in social media. I want you to be able to give our listeners the best way to get in contact with you. We're going to be, not only will this interview be available on Late Night Parents, but also on Public Radio Exchange. So what's the best way, Simone, to get in contact with you via social media?
Okay, so you can contact me. My Twitter handle is Simone on Sports. That's SimoneOnSports. Simone on Sports. And that's the best way to reach me. And follow me, I follow back. So, yeah.
And tell us really quick about your show on Blog Talk.
You know what? It's in the works right now, but it's me and two other sports journalists, and it's just we talk about mainly Dallas sports, so the Mavericks, Cowboys, a little bit about the Rangers. It's called Snap and Tip, and basically, it's just sports with a little bit of sass. It's three women who know their stuff and know what they're talking about, and we try to make it exciting and fun though. So yeah, it's really fun, and we should be actually starting next Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. So
definitely, you
we'll
definitely let me know
on my Twitter.
You definitely let me know so I can make sure I'll circulate it amongst my friends too, because you're a great interview and wanted to give you a round of applause. Simone, this is the first time you're on the show, but it definitely won't be the last because as certain sports, because we will talk a little bit of sports now. We have, you in this arena where we can pull you in and ask you specific questions. But thank you so much for being with us tonight, and all the best with your new show that's going to debut next Thursday on Blog Talk Radio. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for having me.
All right. And that was Simone Bridges, Simone on Sports, joining us. Very interesting approach to motherhood and talking about Mother's Day and just everything, all the above. We really appreciate